Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on So Tell Us Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning and we are ready to rock. I'm sure you're ready to rock. That's why you're on here listening. If you're following along with us on social media, and you're probably seeing that we're doing some traveling, we're got some events that we've got to be doing. And if you're not following us on social media, well, then start following us on social media. That's pretty rude of you. Jeez. All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the majority. So sometimes in business, or even often in business, we've got the 1% and the 99%. Now, the 99% is our perfect customer.
Yes.
And then you've got your 1% that is your loud and demanding and obnoxious and rude customer. The ones that are usually in your face all the time.
Yeah.
In your employees' faces, in your email box constantly. And the problem with that 1% is we often get sucked into the black hole of tripping over ourselves to accommodate them, even though they only make up 1% of our business or customer base. So today we're going to be talking about what we should be doing, who we should be listening to, and how we should be focusing on them. So Troy, take it away.
All right. So today you're going to be like, I've heard this before, but the first thing we're going to talk about is know your numbers.
What? I've never said that before.
Exactly. So I'm not talking this time. We're not talking about know your numbers of like, you know, your numbers of your marketing, your ROI, anything like that. What we're talking about is just making sure that you're quantifying things in the business to know whether they really matter or not. And so that's what we're talking about with know your numbers, right? So whenever you're dealing with a complaint, an issue, or maybe even just a request in your company, you need to quantify those with numbers.
Yeah.
And the reason why, I'll just give you one reason first, is, you know, a lot of times when it comes to customer service and sales guys, they are known for exaggerating the numbers.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Good ones do. And this is the thing. And the reason I say that, you say, that sounds crazy, Trevor. But the good ones do. If you have a support person who maybe exaggerates this number a little bit, right? To make it seem like it's more important. What does that mean? Than it really is. It means that you have someone who is in your company advocating for your clients. That's a dream employee.
Yeah.
You want them, especially a support person, you want them advocating for your clients.
Oh yeah.
To keep them happy.
Yeah, and we ran into this with Ron, you know, our dad, who was the sales guy in the company. And, you know, he used to come into us and he'd be like, oh, man, look, every business owner I talk to wants us to do this, or they need us to change this so that our system will do this for them. Mm-hmm. And it was always, and we're like, okay, like how many people? Everyone I've talked to.
Everyone that I've talked to this month.
Yep. And that's what I was saying. We're like, okay, it can't be every person you've talked to. Right? Yeah. So rather than like arguing with him over it, we'd be like, okay, look, here's what we're going to do. If that's the case, here's a little thing. We want you to just keep track. Here's a little notepad. Just write down everybody, every one of the people you talk to that want that. And, you know, we quickly learned that it wasn't the 99% that wanted it. It was usually the 1%.
Yeah. I mean, it would be in a month, he would talk to one person. If one person mentioned something, he'd be like, oh, we need to do this. Everyone wants it.
Right. And again, not a bad thing.
No.
Because he really wanted to advocate for that person and make them really, really happy.
Absolutely.
But from a business perspective, you can't run your business on the 1%.
No, you can't. You're not going to be able to pay the bills.
Yep.
And I love that, though. I love that. I mean, I want employees that want to advocate for
Yes.
the client, and especially sales guys, because that means they're not just worried about the dollar. They're not worried about the money.
Yeah.
They're worried about the client. And that's a special breed of sales guy.
Absolutely. So the other thing you need to do when it comes to the majority is you need to not be afraid to fire a client.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got that 99% that's awesome, that loves our service, that, you know, we hear wonderful things from them. And then you have that 1% that's super loud and always demanding, like Trevor said. You need to not be afraid to just fire those clients.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny is, so in our company, you know, it's Ron was the dreamer. Troy is, you know, firmly planted on the ground, making sure that, you know, we're profitable and everything is going the way that it needs to go. And then, you know, I take care of all sorts of things, and I'm kind of in the middle ground. But one of the things that they labeled me as was the bulldog.
Yes.
Okay. I was the bulldog. If there was somebody, that 1%, that client that, you know, Troy would have gave him the world. He would just bend. He would just bend to their will, right? And because he just wants to, you know, love everyone and make everybody happy and just take care of everything, you know. And then, to be honest, I guess Ron was probably the same way.
Yes.
He was like, just give them whatever they want, you know. And then there was me. I was the one that was, when it came to that, I was the bulldog. And so the thing is, I can tell you right now, when you push back, or when you stand up for, in the right and appropriate situations, right?
Yes.
You need to be in the right, or you need to be whatever that is. If you're wrong, you just admit that you're wrong and you move forward and see if you can fix it. But if you're not, and they're just being a bully and trying to push or complain or fuss or whatever that is, oftentimes when you stand up to them and you match their, you know, I always tease that, like, you know, whatever level they were at, I matched them and raised it up like 1%. And so, you know, I'm the boss. Okay. No. But a lot of them ended up, that type of personality respected it.
Yeah.
Responded well to it. And then actually stopped being a complainer.
Yeah.
Some of them, they joined the 99%. They joined the majority. So that's something that you can learn and take from us. Is, I'm serious. It's like when I try to sell people on why they shouldn't do business with us, they want to eat. They just like are like eating out of my hand. They want to do business with us. When I stand up to a customer that is a fusser or aggressive or rude or whatever, like, I'm not afraid to fire you. Okay. Yeah. And so when they understand that, and they realize, well, I'm just, you know, we actually had a client that would call and complain. And every time we would review everything, his business was doing amazing. Everything was working really well from us. And I finally just stood up to him, and I just called him out. I think Troy or Ron or somebody turned him over to me. And I just was like, what is the deal? What is going on? Every 6 months you call in. And I'm not going to put up with this anymore. We don't do business like this. If we're not the right company for you, then you need to leave and go find the right company for you. That's why we don't do contracts. So tell me what's going on, or go find someone else. I'm telling you, I don't think we're the right business for you. Obviously, every 6 months you complain. Well, come to find out, he just straight up confessed. Well, I'm just kind of got into a habit of that. Every 6 months, I call every service that I use, including my phone bill and my internet and you guys and and named them all. And he goes, I fuss, I complain, and usually people drop my bill. And I'm like, are you serious? And you know, the funny thing was, I was like, and why would you keep doing that to us? Because we don't drop your bill.
Yeah.
We would just tell you, we would do an analysis. We'd show you how it's all working. We would prove to you that this is amazing, and you would move on. But every 6 months you do it. And he's just like, well, I don't know. I just got in a habit, man. And I'm like, all right, well, stop, or else you can find someone else to work with. And he was like, no, I appreciate you guys. I understand, you know? So anyways, just take that into consideration. You don't want to be a jerk, but again, you're also not a doormat.
Yep. And again, there's some clients that won't work for, right? You'll try it, it won't work. So what you need to do is you need to quantify what a tough client is actually costing you. And then you should decide whether you should keep them or not. And if you shouldn't keep them, then just fire them and move on. Because guess what? Most likely, you could take that same effort that you're putting into that one bad customer, and you could make 2 or 3 or 4 other customers super happy and make way more money.
Yeah. And it's funny. I go over this with my sales guys. about like they'll sell, like I'll talk to one of them and let's say he sold 50 new clients this month. And he has this one problem client that he sold, right? And they're just a problem, and they're, and they're coming back and they're fighting him on this or that or blah, 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 right? And they're just being super hard. And I'm like, okay, dude, like how many, so you had one, but you had 49 that were amazing. And he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, put your big boy pants on and go back to work. Come on.
Exactly. And that actually puts us right into the very next thing on our list here.
Nice.
Is remind your employees that 99% of your customers love you so that they don't get discouraged.
Yeah.
Because again, the 1%, the complainers, they're the loudest.
Yeah.
So at times you and maybe your employees might feel like, you get discouraged and you're like, man, we're just not doing a very good job. So it's important to remind them, and Trevor does a really good job of that, of like, okay, so you had one bad one out of 50. Yeah. Right? The other 49 people were super happy.
In fact, there's a new rule in our company. I said, if you come in and complain to me about a customer, I'm going to then say, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to let you vent. And then I'm going to tell you, now tell me about 4 customers you've recently dealt with that were awesome. Because we focus here in this company, we focus on the positive. We don't focus on the negative, right?
Yep.
And so we do that, especially with your support staff. Your support staff is the front line.
Yes.
They're going to be dealing with these issue people. And again, the 1% is usually the loudest. And so we do have to remind and if you're a client of mine, like especially if your success coach is Isaac, that dude cares about you.
Yeah.
He cares about your business. He is advocating for you guys all the time with us to the degree that sometimes it's annoying. I'm like, okay, dude. But like, that's a good thing. So, but I also have to remind Isaac and these guys that, you know what? It's what you're hearing on that complaint. Remember, there are 6,499 other customers in 32 countries around the world that just love you and love us. And then they're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So,
yep. So a great way to remind your employees of that is if you have in your company meetings, go over maybe some of the positive reviews that you've got in the last week or so. And just so they can see like, oh yeah, that's right. Look how awesome we are. Look how many great reviews we got. Ask your team to share positive experiences that they had that, during the last week.
Absolutely.
With one of your customers, right? So keep it positive and keep them motivated on, yes, we're doing a great job. And that's going to help them deal with the hard customers better.
Right. That's right.
All right. And then the other thing you want to do is, and a lot of times we just forget about this, reach out to the 99% to get feedback from them, because that's the feedback that really matters.
Yes.
And that will help guide you in your business decisions. So don't just listen to the 1% that complain.
Yeah.
Reach out to the 99 and find out what they love and then what they would love even more.
And we've made this mistake. We have changed things based on the 1%.
Yeah.
That then ended up upsetting some of the 99.
Yep.
And we were like, oh, that was so stupid, because we were listening to the complainers, to the loudest in the group. And we have stopped doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. We are listening to the majority, not the small percentage.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else, Trevor?
No, let's start with the homework. All right. Okay. Start quantifying the feedback you are receiving from your clients and put together a plan to reach out to the 99%. So figure out, I'm going to add into that, you know what? Stand up to the 1% if you're in the right, okay? Fire that 1% that doesn't deserve to be a client of yours. You provide an amazing service, you work hard, and if they're not appreciating it, or if whatever that is, you let them go and you go focus on that 99% that absolutely loves you for what you provide for them. And you will continue to attract more of the 99%, and you will get rid of that 1%. And, so hopefully someday you just have 100% of an amazing business, right? All right, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll be on the road for the next few weeks doing some events, so we will see you from the road. We hope you guys have a sensational rest of your week, and we will catch you on the next episode next Tuesday. Same time every Tuesday, whether we're traveling or not, whether it's hurricanes or rainstorms or snowstorms, or if it's just hot as hell like Arizona always is. We don't have any of those other things.
Yeah.
We just have the heat, baby. We will be here, and we'll catch you on the next episode of So Tell Us Time.